When you're heading east, you're bound to bump into the sun, in fact, as it sets at this hour. And right here on the home of Untold Stories TV47, we have a lot lined up for you, especially the stories that we've worked on during the day and others that we shall be bringing you in our subsequent bulletins. But first, the top stories. Among the top stories making headlines at this hour: thrilled anticipation as deposits of precious metal coltan discovered in Embu.
Our country has adequate deposits of coltan. And for those of us who are not technical, coltan is a mineral which is responsible for your communication gadgets.
Shock as a school guard is murdered in cold blood at a Thika school. Who did it and why?
Nataka wafanye uchunguzi tujue kiini mzee wangu amelala kwa njia gani, mwenye alisababisha ni nani, hata ameniacha na watoto wadogo sana.
Plus, we bring you the latest in the gruesome and intriguing murder of the late Rita Waini. Good afternoon to you, and thank you so much for joining us on News Now. My name is George Maringa. Let's begin with our top story, where tension rose after clash between the market vendors and Kiambu County officials at Wangige Market in Kabete constituency of Kiambu County. The chaos began after Kiambu County officers started to take sand samples for the establishment of a market construction. The Wangige market vendors say that they were neither involved in planning nor given an alternative place to continue with their daily activities. Leaders at Wangige Market are seeking for a public participation exercise before the Kiambu and the central government make any decision on the market.
In the first place, hata hatujaambiwa, hatujafanya ile participation, public participation. And by the way, this is a project that has people in it. Kwa hivyo, this has people opinion when they are affected by this project. Number two, hatujaonyeshwa mahali pa kwenda, hakuna any procedure imefanywa. So we are very much aware they came, wanafanya mikutano kule nje na ndio tumejulishwa ati kuna wanakuja kuanzia maneno ya soko. So we were asking procedure ilianzia wapi?
Kwa hivyo mzozo ilitokea sababu ya kuwa hatukuwa tumefahamu vizuri. Hata sasa hatujaelewa hii mambo ya sampling ya mchanga ilitokea wapi na pahali imefika kwa nini na imefika aje. Sababu hakuna jambo lolote ambalo kamati ya soko imeinvolviwa nayo. Because I do believe if there is something to start, you have to start with the leadership of the market. Then after that, you continue with the project as it is anticipated.
Let's take you to China, where during his official visit to China, the Prime Cabinet Secretary and Cabinet Secretary for Foreign and Diaspora Affairs, that is Dr. Musalia Mudavadi, held constructive bilateral discussions with Wang Yi, Minister for Foreign Affairs of the People's Republic of China. The focal point of the conversation centered on advancing the long-standing relations and strategic partnership between Kenya and China. Both leaders affirmed their joint commitment to expediting collaboration on crucial fronts, including infrastructure projects, addressing challenges posed by climate change, and boosting the trade partnership.
that we can have a strong relationship. It is our intention that we prepare the foundation for another great milestone of 60 years going ahead. This is a good opportunity for that to happen. I wish to acknowledge at the very outset that our partnership has been very strong. You are one of the first countries to recognize independence 60 years ago. And you have been very strong partners and infrastructure projects and other development programs that you have supported us are very, very key. And it is very clear that for a good future for us and for collaboration those issues.
A fresh row is brewing between Kenyan Pokot, Ugandan Pokot herders, as well as the Sebei community over grazing of livestock in Uganda. This comes as severe drought ravages Pokot pastoralists from West Pokot County and those living in Amudat district in Uganda, leaving them to migrate to other areas in search of pasture and water for their livestock. A team of 12 elders, peace actors, security team, and political leaders from West Pokot County, led by Deputy Governor Robert Komole on Wednesday, headed to Uganda for negotiations seeking for pasture and water. However, the peace meeting that was held at Mwechororo village, Chepsukunya area in Kwen district ended prematurely after leaders from Kwen and Bukwa districts made resolutions saying no to more peace talks until encroachers are evicted.
We are here to assure you that as brothers from Kenya, we are going to cooperate in terms of the issues of cross-border. Number two, I just want also to request our brothers, because Chelogo, you said I'm here as a farmer, which is true. And we've been interacting. So I want also to join my brothers who has requested that we have been living very peacefully. We have been living very peacefully. We are one community, we are Kalenjins. So kindly, our brothers and sisters from Sebei, let us agree to that fact that we are one community.
So tumekuja leo hapa, tumeongea paka mambo hajaenda mzuri, lakini kitu ile mnaomba tu Wapokot wa ndugu zangu kutoka Lokales Riwo hadi hapa mali anaishi ng'ombe hapa na Griwach, tumesikizana, tumekubaliana mitengine akwe Ijumaa ya wiki tarehe 26. So tuko tayari kurudi hapa tena na Deputy Governor ya West Pokot na group yake ndio tuongee mzuri, apatie wa ndugu zangu kutoka Kwen na Bukwa apatie hizi resolutions yao, alafu tuone gani ndio tukubali.
To see how that plays out, a multi-agency team of experts has been deployed at Kiangangaro village in Kiambere ward of Embu County to assess the quality, quantity and extent of coltan deposits discovered in the area. Mining, Blue Economy and Marine Affairs Cabinet Secretary Salim Mvurya launched the verification exercise in Embu today and said they will be expected to report after 1 month. Their report will enable the government to start the concessioning process for the in-demand mineral. The CS, who was accompanied by Embu Governor Cecily Mbarire, said the government was keen to see the mining sector play a more significant role in the country's GDP.
We'll be reporting because
our country has adequate deposits of coltan. And for those of us who are not technical, coltan is a mineral which is responsible for your communication gadgets, the cameras you are using, the phones you are using, the laptops and any other communication material, coltan is a key mineral that facilitates those particular gadgets. So Embu County, I'm happy to announce that in the area of Kiambere, Kiritiri, we have adequate deposits of coltan. And part of what we are doing here is that we will leave our teams behind to do ground truthing so that we can now begin to assess the economic value.
We are extremely excited to know that Embu County has good deposits of coltan that is used for making communication gadgets like phones, among others. And we are extremely happy that we indeed do have potential as a county. And as Waziri has mentioned, that potential is in Bere South, specifically in Keretire area. And so we believe this is a good opportunity for us to exploit that resource and make sure it benefits the people of Embu County.
Of course, and wait to see more of that coltan and how it shall be explored and exploited. The 39 Shakahola massacre suspects, including Paul Mackenzie, have today pleaded not guilty on a total of 17 offences before the Tononoka Children's Law Court's principal magistrate, Nelly Chepchirchir, on charges of child torture contrary to Section 25 of the Children's Act 2022, assault, cruelty to a child, and infringing children's right to education contrary to section of the Basic Education Act of 2013. The defense lawyer Wycliffe Makasembo had proposed a bond for his clients, which was opposed by the state through the ODPP. The court has, however, issued 20 days for both parties to prepare for their submissions over the new application by the suspects to be heard on the 15th of February 2024. Now, a night security guard was brutally murdered while his colleagues sustained serious head cuts after thieves invaded a secondary school they were guarding and took off with 16 laptops. The incident occurred last night when a gang of 6 thugs armed with machetes ambushed the guards and broke all main doors to the administration block of Karibaribi Secondary School before killing the guard and injuring his colleague. These happened a stone throw away to Karibaribi police station in what residents in the school fraternity call as unacceptable laxity amongst security agencies in the area. The wife of the murdered guard, Sarah Musa, has appealed to the government to hunt down her husband's killers, revealing that he was the only breadwinner in the family.
Nataka wafanye uchunguzi tujue kiini mzee wangu ameuawa kwa njia gani, mwenye alisababisha ni nani, hata ameniacha na watoto wadogo sana angali shuleni.
Kuna grupu ingine yenye ilifanyia shule ya Karibaribi Secondary School, mahali waliweza kuiba laptop 16 katika hiyo shule na kujeruhi watchman wa hiyo shule, na wakati walipokimbizwa hospitali, mmoja au watchman aliweza kufariki. Pia tunaendelea na uchunguzi ya hiyo, uchunguzi imeanza na tuko tayari na tumejitolea, officers wamejitolea kuhakikisha usalama imerudi katika hiyo area. Hii ni vijana kidogo tu, ni group kidogo tu yenye tuko tayari kubambana naye mpaka hii uhalifu iishe.
Now, the Chief of the Kenya Defence Forces, General Francis Ogolla, has urged delegates at the 32nd Ordinary Session of the Eastern Africa Committee of Chiefs of Defence and Security to develop mechanisms of ensuring a safe region. The meeting, which is also the 32nd Eastern Africa Standby Force EASF Ordinary Policy Organs meeting, is currently ongoing here in Nairobi. The Eastern Africa Standby Force is a regional organization whose mandate is to enhance peace and security in the Eastern Africa region. It is one of the 5 regional multi-dimensional forces of the East African Standby Force ASF, consisting of military, police and civilian components. EASF was established as a regional mechanism to provide capability for rapid deployment of forces to carry out preventive deployment, rapid intervention, peace support, stability operations and peace enforcement. Currently, the EASF draws its membership from 10 active member states, including Burundi, Comoros, Djibouti, Ethiopia, Kenya, Rwanda, Seychelles, Somalia, Sudan, and Uganda.
As we convene here today, our purpose transcends our borders and interests. We share a vision of a safer and more secure Eastern Africa, where the well-being of our people is at the forefront of our collective efforts. Over the years, the challenges facing our region have evolved, requiring us to adapt and innovate in our strategies and defense and security. Today, we find ourselves in the midst of a complex geopolitical dynamics, transnational threats, and emerging challenges that demand a unified and collaborative response. To be better able to deal with these threats, the experts will be proposing to amend the current agreement on the establishment of ESF, the policy framework, and the important working documents that will contribute to not only strengthening our standby force, but we will also serve as a platform for bringing together our region, defense capabilities, and resources to mitigate, prevent, and manage conflict and security at large in the region.
Meru County Government, in conjunction with government agencies and international partners, have launched Bongo and Rhino Sanctuary in a 250-acre land in the county. The sanctuary will receive 25 Bongo antelope from the Rare Species Conservatory Foundation, RSCF, in Florida, which has successfully propagated Bongo for 30 years and long supported Bongo conservation in Kenya. The process will be guided and anchored on the elaborate procedures directed by the Kenya Wildlife Service. This project demonstrates the first effort in several decades of a public-private partnership of its kind in Kenya, aimed to reintroduce a wildlife species that were at the verge of going extinct within the northern slope of Mount Kenya forest. It also seeks to involve local communities in ecotourism, promote eco-friendly sustainable agriculture, and enhance biodiversity protection throughout the Mount Kenya ecosystem.
We have 2 agencies that have proved that in this country, even government agencies can ease the conservation work. Kenya Forest Service and Kenya Wildlife Service. We can't thank you more, because Kenya Forest Service has given us, as Ndaka said, 250 acres to be here for 28 years.
They are going to improve forest conservation and other issues. Therefore, on behalf of Kenya Forest Service, just know we enlist our devoted support to all this. Soon or later, in the next 3 months, we are making a state-of-the-art air surveillance, both for fire and forest, next in Mushene, which are going to monitor all these ecosystems. Therefore, we don't expect any security risk. And now we We have also increased the number of rangers in the county, and they are at 115 additional. I have a staff of 258.
This is a fascinating and majestic and beautiful creature. Very shy, but very social. As we moved forward with the idea of bringing the bongo back to Kenya, we had to recognize that we had to do it right. And the only right way to do it is to work with everyone to see that it can happen.
Still within the sides of the Mount Kenya region, and President William Ruto has challenged the opposition to come up with viable solutions to address youth unemployment in the country instead of resorting to demos. The president spoke in Timau, Meru County, where he launched various road projects termed the Affordable Housing Project, Job Exports Abroad, and Monetization of Digital Skills as a pace setter for his administration's plan to address youth unemployment. The head of state, who was flanked by his deputy Rigathi Gachagua and other leaders, dismissed as mere protests as a waste of time.
Wameenda kotini ati wanataka kuzuia hii housing, wanataka kuzuia digital jobs, wanataka kuzuia export of labor. Mimi nikawauliza, kwani nyinyi mko na mpango gani kwa hawa vijana? Kwa sababu lazima tupange ajira hawa vijana. Nasikia waliniambia nini? Ati wamepanga maandamano. Sasa nikuulize wewe mtu ya Timau, maandamano ni kazi mtu anaweza kwenda kufanya? Ati uache kazi ya housing uende ufanye maandamano? Ati uache kazi ya digital job uende ufanye maandamano? Si hawa watu wanatuchezea karata ya bure? Ndio mimi nimewaambia wacheni mchezo, tunataka Kenya isonge mbele.
Nimeona jana hii watu ya ODM, hii watu ya Azimio wakijaribu kuongea mambo ya siasa ya Mlima Kenya. Mimi nataka niambie nyinyi watu ya Azimio, hii maneno ya mlima is too complicated for you to understand. Hata siku mlijaribu kupanda mlima mliteleza. Wanaweza leo mambo ya mlima? Sasa walikuwa na Uhuru Kenyatta, walikuwa na system, walikuwa na nini, wakaporomoka kwa mlima hii Kenya. Hii mlima iko na wenyewe.
Nakushukuru sana Mheshimiwa Rais. Ulinituma kwa